Hello, we're back again on the Chatterbox with yours truly, the one and only King Jacob, bringing you the best news, media, and entertainment, live, raw, and uncut. Today we have a special guest, and I will, let you guys get acquainted with her and allow her to introduce herself. So, go ahead and introduce yourself. I can hear you.
I'm Stacey, Bossdiamond, better known as Easy. I'm a screenwriter, director, and owner of Breezy Films.
Mm, okay, you said screenwriter and director, owner, founder, CEO, Breezy Films. So let's get into when did Breezy Film start?
Yeah. Breezy Films started in 2014 when I started my first movie, A Part of the Game.
Okay. So that's when it first started. Okay, great. And I might add that I did watch that movie.
Hmm.
I watched it more than once, and so it was a pretty.
What did you think about it?
I really like with at that time I was so heavy up into the music industry, and so this movie was about the street life in the music industry. So a lot of the guys that I know were still in that lifestyle, but they were still in the studio heavy too. You know, making that fire, man.
Mm.
Producing that gas. So the movie registered with what was going on. As far as my life. So I thought it was dope how you did it. Like it was really dope, man. And I was like, she really put this thing together, man. So I was like, she definitely a director and a writer that we definitely need to look out for. That's up on the rise. So and that was back in 2015. And here we are, 2021, and I finally get to get an interview with you. So that's what's up. That's what's good in the hood for sure. You know what I mean? So let's talk about how how was the creation of you want so you came from the music sector from managing artists, and so you went to the film sector, and it seems like the film sector is really moving and grooving and working for you. And so what made you want to get into that film industry?
um, I first started my first company, Breezy, in 2009. Every year I told myself while I was going to school that I wasn't sure where I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I didn't know if it was TV, film, managing models, managing artists, PR, or whatever. So what I did is every year I made sure that I created some big project. Back in 2009, I started out, I created a song called Chicago United in 2010. And then I launched my modeling company, Breezy Diamond, which is really what put me on the map. After that, I had did a company called Fear, where we gave away scholarships. Female entrepreneurs are rock stars. Then I went to managing the artists. Did that for a couple of years, and then I was just going for different things. And I'm like, I produced music. I did all type of stuff, and I'm just like, what haven't I done? From doing entertainment news on the radio to PR, and I'm like, I never did a movie, and I'm obsessed with reality shows. So I had did a reality show called The Hungriest Rapper back in, I think it was 2010 or 11, and I loved it. I love being behind the camera. But I never, people don't know that I didn't go to school for film. I went to school for music. So in the entertainment business. So film was foreign to me. I actually taught myself everything that I know. So when I did it, I'm a person, I research everything, I Google everything. I listen to YouTube videos. And I told my partner, I was like, man, I want to do a movie. So I didn't know nothing about script writing or screenwriting. So I put it on Facebook that I was looking for someone that is a writer. A friend of mine referred me to a girl named Nicole Washington. And I told her my concept, my idea, everything that I wanted to happen. I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to put it on paper. And she took on my project and gave it back to me, I think within a month or two. And that was in 2014 for my birthday in February. And after that, she wrote the first movie, and then I directed and produced it. But it was my idea, but she brought it to life. And then every movie after that, I wrote, directed, and produced.
Okay, so in the initial post when I posted about you was coming on the show, and um, let's let's talk about the levels of executive producing a movie. For those that may want to get into the film industry and they really don't understand um, the difference between the executive producer, and the associated producer. So let's break those levels down, if you would.
Okay, well, like the executive producer, perfect example. It's okay with this movie that I got coming out in 2 weeks, Ignite Your Love. I was the executive producer, I was a director, I was a producer, I was the screenwriter, the associate producer, and I was everything. I was all the titles, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
then I have the Raising Royalty reality show that's not my idea. My show, but they hired me to direct and produce it. So the executive producer, they don't have to necessarily be on set like how I am every day, but they are the ones that I have to do. Like the Bentley twins, they're the creators and the executive producers of Raising Royalty, but I'm the producer and director. You know what I'm saying? So I help manage, like the executive producer head. They may have came up with the idea or jumped on board with another producer. Um, the produce, so they the ones we answer to. They could be the driving force with the money to fund everything. If you have a big production company, sometimes a producer can also part of that when it comes to funding a film also. And then a producer sometimes ties over to executive producer. Like I say, I played multiple roles. Even though I was hired to be a producer for Raising Royalty, I played executive producer roles as well. You know what I'm saying? But usually the executive producers,
All right, we're back. We're back. Sorry about had a few technical difficulties, but we're back. Can you hear me, Stacey? Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Oh my. Can you hear me? Are you good? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, great, great, great. So, from you being executive producer and you definitely
Can you hear me?
film. I can hear you good. I can hear you good. So with you being an executive producer and then you learning the whole business. So what was the what was the most difficult part to learn how to do since you never went to school for it?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. So do I need to repeat the question? Can't hear you. No.
You say what? I didn't hear.
I said so what was the most difficult part for you to learn since you didn't go to school for
Yeah,
the
I didn't hear.
film
Repeat the
industry?
question.
I said what was the most difficult. Can you hear me now?
What was your question?
You can hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
You say what? Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm gonna go back out and come back in. Okay, good. Okay. Uh, what was the most difficult part for you to learn?
Okay. Okay. So, like I say, it wasn't. I'm a chatterbox, so I can get in front of anybody and talk. My main thing is I didn't have no background like I did in music. Like I said, I have a bachelor's in music business, a master's in entertainment business, and a master's in public relations. But I had nothing in film or TV. So to try to believe in me and believe that I can do something that I've never done before, it was challenging, but it wasn't really. I can't even say it was challenging. I think because I had a lot of support out here. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so much of challenging from the outside. It was just with me. I don't like to fail. So it was just like making sure that people are going to like what the outcome is because so many people commend me on so many things that I've done. But I was not going to say expecting it, but it's like, okay, well, I got degrees. learn something. But when you don't have a degree in something or don't have a background in it, and like I'm nervous. Like when I did my first movie premiere, I'm like, what if people say this suck? What if people say this is horrible? But people was like, oh my God, Breezy, like this was the, you know what I'm saying? So that sparked the fire under me that made me write my second movie. And when I did that, and I'm like, okay, this is something I wrote. The first girl, it was my idea, but she wrote it. This one is my idea. I wrote it. I did everything. And people said they love it more than the first one. And then this third one that's coming up, people are like, they see the elevation. So it wasn't so much challenging from the people. It was just challenging within myself more than anything.
Okay. Now, as far as the screenwriting and the script writing, um, how did you learn to make yourself comfortable with writing scripts and things of that nature? Because, like you said, you didn't go to school for it, but now you have gravitated to it, and you definitely a professional at it. So, what was that transition to learn how to write those scripts?
I mean, that was kind of actually easy for me because all you do, a lot of people don't research. They just want to find out, just tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I like to research and do things. So I just researched how to write a script. You know what I'm saying? And it brought up different sites on how I can write them. So like Celtex, CELTX.com is one of the sites that I use to write my scripts. There's other ones, but that's the main one that I gravitate. And then what I did is Google Stomp the Yard. I think it was Stomp the Yard and Paid in Full Minister Society scripts. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Stomp the Yard or You Got Served, one of them came up, and I just downloaded the script and paid attention to how they wrote their script. And I kind of copycatted it. And you know what I'm saying? And then just did a couple of more research, just wrote my own.
Okay. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So what type of people do you look for at your castings? Is there a sector of actors and actresses that you want? Like what makes you want that person to be in your movie? Like what impresses you about an actress or actor?
A person who could just look at them and see that they want it bad. I like to give people opportunities that aren't given other opportunities, like the big movies, because they don't have any experience. I like to give. So my first movie, Coach Steele and Leo Oski, A Part of the Game, they're both rappers. They're older adults. So I looked at them and said, you can't be doing this the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? You have to be multifaceted in this industry. You have to have more than one talent. And I have a movie idea, and I want you guys to play the role. They didn't come to me about it. I came to them. I sought them out. And Coach Steele is like my brother. That's like, I'll do anything for him, and I told him, like, I want you to start a movie. I love your voice. I love everything. I love your rapping. And I said, you just got that factor. Like, Breezy, I don't rap where I don't act where you going to act today. So he actually took up acting classes and everything, and he fell in love with it so much that he wrote his own movie called Can I Get Some? That I wish he would put out. He had a premiere a couple years ago, but never put it out. It was so good, but it made him want to take it serious. So I look for people that I see something in them and that they may not see in themselves. And the other people is like, I'm just so Chicago. Like, I want Chicago to be on so bad, and I love giving chances to people. So sometimes I seek the people that I may just be watching. They don't know I'm watching them, and I'll come to them and ask them, hey, I got an opportunity for you. But then there's people that come to me, and then I may have had one audition, one or two, just to say I had an audition. But most of my movies, I've handpicked everybody.
Okay. Okay, that's dope. So what's up with that soundtrack though? Like, what can people go find that soundtrack?
Which one? Just a soundtrack, period?
No, the soundtrack of the very first movie you did.
Everybody is asking for that. Okay, let me tell you right quick. So everybody makes a mistake, right? So I made a mistake on my first movie where I relied on someone else to do the soundtrack to the movie. So relying on them and trusting that they would get royalty free songs, because I would just want to hurry up and put out a movie and just get it. And I was just so excited and anxious to get it out there, but trusted someone to do that. And even though they killed that soundtrack, it was a lot of copyrighted music. So I couldn't really make any money off the movie because of the fact of all the copyrighted music. I would have to literally take the music out, do it, lose views on YouTube or whatever. Because I'm gonna chalk up to the game as a learning lesson. So every movie after that, I have been the music supervisor. I have chosen the music. I have went through lawyers. I have made sure I had contracts. I made sure I got royalty free music. So that would never happen again. So that's why it was
Man,
never a soundtrack really put out for that.
that soundtrack is fire.
Everybody says that. They be like, I was like, I approved it. Like, so brought the music, and I said, okay, put it here, 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 here. Like, I was just learning, you know what I'm saying, as a goal. And I know you have to have copyrighted music. I know that from school, but I trusted that somebody had took care of that, and they didn't.
Okay then. Okay. So as far as the as far as the paperwork and the corporate structure of the film industry, you know, how does that differ from the corporate structure in the music industry, or is it similar, or is it the same, or what do you think about that? That is it different or not?
Um, as far as like with the cast in the movie, or are you talking about like the music in the movies? How does it differ from the music industry? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about just as far as the paperwork,
Oh, paperwork.
as far
So
as
basically, in the entertainment industry, in the music industry, like if with my artist, you have a contract that you have with your artist from client to manager. Then you have the contract as far as with when you're doing your split sheet with the producer and everybody that's on the song for their royalty, their splits, whatever. But when it comes to music for a movie, it's not much that different. But when it comes to contracts for a movie, it's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Because every person, first of all, every cast member is going to have a different contract. It depends on what your deal is. This person may be making this money. This person may also want the title of executive producer because they're the star of the movie. You know what I'm saying? They may ask for that or ask for, they might be a director too. So it just depends on which cast member you have, depends on what type of contract you have. Outside of the contract with the talent, you also got contracts with the artist whose music is up in it. Then you got contracts with locations. Like, okay, I'm using your spot. So you got that contract. Then you got the NDA. I got a non-disclosure agreement. Now with COVID, I have to have the COVID contract. It's so many little different things that you have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? If I'm using props, I got props contracts. I got, it's, oh my God, it was so many freaking contracts that I had to use for a movie. Then I think I have to say the movies have more contracts to me than then you got the contract with the videographer. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the contracts with your crew. Then it's more work because you're dealing with more people. You know what I'm saying? So it's the structure is way different than music. I learned a lot. That's why I
okay,
got
so
lawyers involved, right? So I don't have to handle all that.
right. So from that aspect to get people music, to license the music, for your movie, what is that process with those artists to get their music licensing? So you have everything clear, and the copyrights and everything is clear to actually be on your movie for the movie scores and stuff like that.
Wanted all royalty free music. So it's a site Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
We good. We good.
Okay. So it's a site called artlist.io. Like ART list, list.io. You buy a subscription for a year or however long you want, and we find music and you do whatever you want with the music. You can put your voice on it. You can edit the songs. You can recreate to go on. It's like this site is amazing. Has literally the whole movie is all artless music. Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
there you are. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I just moved to my phone. I'm like, maybe that'll be easier.
Yeah, a lot of times it is better when you do it with your phone, man, because the Wi-Fi be tripping. For
Yeah.
real, for real. Okay, so we were talking about the scripts and learning to write the scripts, and then we moved to the music licensing. So announce that site that you said where it's royalty-free music. You can
Art.
tell me about the site.
Yeah, it was artlist.io. ARTLIST.io. So
Okay,
once you have to have a subscription. I mean, you can listen to the music, pick whatever you want, but to be able to download it and have the contract, you have to have a subscription to it. So my videographer actually has one. So whenever we did any songs for the movie, that's what we use for Ignite Your Love, outside of the 4 other artists that we use independently.
okay. And so, you know, a lot of people that's in this entertainment industry, I just really don't think they understand how much corporate structure is into the industry. When I mean corporate structure, I always tell people, like, even when I was managing artists, when I used to, the first conversation I have with an artist, I tell them that it's 90% business and 10% music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your business is intact, then your music is going to move.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you got to have that paperwork, because I know artists right now, all they do is sit in their basement in their studio and make songs and send it to movie supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's it. They don't ever go out and perform live. That's all they do. And
Yep.
these guys make anywhere from 120K to 150K every year, and been doing it for the last 5 or 6 years. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's so many ways to um, make money in it. So let's talk about the how could I say, the the film publishing, and how you get paid for the longevity, as far as you being a filmmaker, a film producer, all of that. So how does that film industry work versus how the music industry works?
Well, as far as like with publishing, like right now, like my stuff I've been putting on Amazon myself. Amazon is self, you can self promote yourself, whatever. You don't need to get a deal with them, a distribution deal. And I'm making money every month. You know what I'm saying? They pay out every 29th of the month for me. You got to go through the artwork. You got to get everything like approved. But I
Hmm.
put it up there myself. To get on Netflix, it's a little harder. You got to, like Netflix, Hulu, outside of Prime, Netflix, Hulu, like the big companies, you really have to have an agent. And that's one thing that I do admit that I'm looking for now is a literary agent or a movie agent for my books and my movies. Because it is very hard if you don't have that connect or you don't have that relationship with the companies, the big companies. They're not gonna. You can't just send an email and expect to get on. And then it's also the quality of your film, the sound, all that, the score, everything plays a part. Um, Music publishing, like if you like you say, most people you really need a third party, like to get in, to be your liaison to those big corporations, whether it's a record label, whether it's a movie company. I can't just sit there and, oh, let me make a call or let me email, or they're gonna look at me like, who is you? I have to go through somebody that has those connects. So it is kind of hard. I mean, I'm still learning. Like I say, I'm self-taught, so I'm still learning as I go. Um, when I dealt with the music part of things, um, I was doing more so of the management. We had somebody that handled the business management as far as the money goes. I handled more of the day to day at the studio, probably with them, booking them for shows, making sure everything is their set is right when I got there. Um, Same thing with the movies. It's like they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. But then you got to remember, one is music, one is movies. One has more contracts because you're dealing with more people. one has less contract because you're dealing with one artist or a group. So it just all depends, to be honest. But when it comes to trying to get a deal or publishing something, but with a movie, it'll be a distribution deal. Um, it's all about having that right agent and networking and building that relationship. That's why I'm considering moving out of Chicago, just to be able to build, because Chicago, I feel like for 12 years, I've made my mark in Chicago. So it's time for me to branch off to Atlanta, New York, LA, and try and make those relationships that I need that can help not only myself and my company, but the clients that I have moving in the future.
Mm. Okay, so with that being said, I think when it comes to you know the music and the movies, I think that a lot of people that's writers, whether you're a songwriter, whether you a script writer, screenwriter, I think that those type of people should have a meeting set up with their lawyer and take the time to start their own publishing company,
Mm-hmm.
um, so they can self-publish themselves and have other clients up under their publishing company.
Mm-hmm.
And and then of course you got to have the numbers up there, so you can definitely sell your content and market your content. Because you got down south, you got up north, you got Midwest, you got West Coast, and then uh, a vital part of marketing comes when you have that overseas DJ, that Jamaican DJ, that MDM DJ that's over in Canada, and that DJ that's over in Trinidad, at the carnival. So, every artist that is some type of artist, he or she should want their songs remixed a lot, whether it comes to EDM, house, techno, go-go, or all the above, because you're creating a new audience, because house music is big, you know what I mean? Especially out there, we are in Chi-Town. House music is really house music is big in Chi-Town, it's big in Baltimore, it's big in Florida. So, you know, they can easily remix those songs, and then there you go. You have a whole nother fan base. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but I'm gonna tell you, uh, a lot of people probably gonna be pretty upset with you that you ain't got that soundtrack right for that first movie, man. Like I was banking on you saying, "Well, Jacob, you can go to such and such and get that sound," man,
You know what
because
happened? The comments, it's thousands of comments, okay? And people are asking. So, like, if people ask, like, who is that at at the 20-minute and 57-second mark, and I know who it is, and I'll just send them to the artists themselves. Like, here go the artists. Like, I was actually at one point in time, but that time that ship is sailed. Was going to actually just write out the soundtrack as far as what each song was and how that would have took some time. I just didn't even worry about it. That was years ago. But if I saw when I used to watch the comments ask like, man, what is that song at this so and so part? I'll just tell them like, this is so and so. This is their contact them to get their music. Because it doesn't stop them from still hearing the people music. It's just that I don't have a whole CD with all the songs at one time.
like when I heard Coach still killing at the club first, and then when I heard my man that was working in the store, when
Leo,
he said "Bitch, I'm a champion, bitch, I'm a champion," like I was like, whoa, whoa,
yeah, like
whoa.
you can Google Leoski D and Cold Steel or search them on Spotify, Apple Music, all them sites or whatever, and their music gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? With those songs in
Okay,
the movie.
are they still in entertainment or no?
Yes, they are very much
Both
so.
both of them.
Yep.
Okay, so is Coach still independent, and what's the other guy name?
Leoski D. He's with In the Streets and that's his label, In the Street Records, and Cold Steel is with 8 9 Music.
89 Music is his label, or that's somebody else's
Yeah,
label?
that's his stuff. Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I get listen, man. And then when at the end of the movie, when they rapped together, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, you know what I mean?
That was
And
me.
and then,
That was me right there.
a part of the game and a girl that was singing or whatever. I'm like, y'all got to get in the studio, make a song together, and it has to talk about a part of the game. I was like, and it's still like, we need to make this happen. But the other songs are really their actual songs. So and that's the thing too that I like to promote the artists, to let them be able to showcase their talent, so they can be like, oh wow, I didn't even know he had hits like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just another stream of revenue, because you know what I'm saying. Like now they was getting recognized. I remember Leoski called me one day saying I think it was in Texas or something, Houston, and he was in the mall and somebody recognized him as Phantom. Like, oh my God, you're Phantom in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Asking for autographs and how to find his music. So they was able to make, you know what I'm saying, record sales off of that. You know, people download their music now because they seen them in the movie. So it's just another avenue for them.
So here's what I would like to see you do, Breezy. I would like to see you reiterate part 2. How Coach Steele has gone on to be successful worldwide, and him and old boy link up and do an album together. And for those who couldn't get that soundtrack, you put the older songs on the soundtrack and mix with the new stuff. Yeah, So, you know, because, you know, I feel like that movie could be a series. You know what I mean?
So technically, it was supposed to be a part of the game 2, The Payback. That was the name of it. I had the name of it. I have the idea, everything. And it was going to be the sequel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the prequel. So it was going to be, you know, the sequel is following after what happened, but a prequel is before. So it was going to take you back to find out the reason of why Cash murdered Monica. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people question or have their opinions of why they think that he did that, but nobody really knows the real reason. And it was going to come out in the prequel, the part 2, which is The Payback. So, but as I started doing A Promise That Was Broken, as I started doing Ignite Your Love, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like people want it so bad, but it's like, you know, when you just do a trial with something and that's it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, to get to that next level, you just got to keep on advancing. The quality is way different. Some of the people don't even live here anymore. You know, it's been 7 years. A lot of things have changed. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that a prequel can't be done, but when you're doing a prequel instead of a sequel, you got to look younger and not older. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going back in time. You're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing a sequel where it's like, okay, part 2 to what's a movie or whatever, like Fast and Furious, and you're just still going on telling the storyline, keep going. It's going back in time. So now,
how I seen the movie and the other part that was going to it, how I seen that Coach Steele had a long lost son when, you know, he found out about his son was like 21 now. You know what I'm saying? And
we
then
are not doing a part of the game.
Hey, I'm just saying, like,
we are not doing a part of the game too. We're gonna keep on. I got way other movies in the works.
But it would have been dope though, for sure. It would have been dope.
A lot of people wanted it. It's definitely one of the movies that people want. But sometimes, you know, you gotta have that classic where it's like, hey, we good with just that one. You know what I'm saying? But
word. So now you don't per se manage artists anymore, right?
I haven't done that since I was dealing with Beads back in, I think it was 2013. I think I stopped. 2014.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's been a while ago. That's been a while ago. So are there? Let me take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you. This show is sponsored by Unique Blessings nonprofit organization, where I sit on the board of directors of this nonprofit organization, and we fight against human trafficking, sex trafficking, sexual assault, domestic violence, and we have a focus on the at-risk youth. And so I will say, since I've been a part of this organization, I've seen a lot of stuff that I'm not proud of. I've witnessed a lot of, emotional pain, a lot of mental damaging, a lot of people who feel like they've lost their spiritual upliftment. But that's what we do. We stand, we fight, and we unite, and we perform unity. So back with the one and only Miss Breezy, Chi-Town representative in the building with King Jacob, the chatterbox. We chopping up a little bit about this film industry and about how she's moving and grooving and how she's making a mark in this film industry. And what is the process for you submitting to major festivals like the Sundance Film Festival, the Miami Film Festival, the Atlanta Urban Film Festival? So what is that process for you?
It's just simple. It's a site called filmfreeway.com. That's where everybody submits for any festivals. So I just go on there, pick which ones I want to submit to, and just submit to them. That's simple as that. They all have a fee. When this movie that I'm doing now, today I just got selected for another one. I think it's a Sign Awards, but this is our 11th selection. We've so far won actually 2. One of them has been honorable mention. So the other 8 that we're selected for, we're waiting to see if we win or semi-finalists or anything like that. But yeah, you just go on filmfreeway.com and submit to whatever. They have thousands of festivals.
Okay. So with that being said, with all the actors and actresses that you work with, cause there's always somebody that I feel that in the movie they take the movie to another level. So who are you working with now that's on your cast that you feel is going to be a global name that everybody knows?
Every single person cast. And
every single person.
I'm not just saying that because when I had my private screening for this movie, I had someone come to me and say, I'm a movie critic. And this person is well known in the industry, travels around doing a lot of things for people in the industry, well known. And that person says to me that I was waiting to find someone that was a weak link. And I can't even find one person. Everybody held their own, even including the extras in the background. Like, that's how good this movie was and how good the talent was. And I just feel like that everybody, just like I look at, Lauryn Hill, who was booed on Apollo, but yet she's one of the most like household names, you never know. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, Sandy Red is going to do this, or Messiah Equiano, or DeMontez, or whatever, because I got some people that's on there that's getting their first break, never acted before and tried it and killing it more than sometimes people, not specifically in this movie, but so I know that has happened where they kill it better than people that has had years of experience. Like me, for instance, I look at me, I have no experience in film and TV, no background whatsoever, but yet I got 1.7 million views on my first independent film. I'm winning 11, I'm selected for 11 festivals. So you never can just pinpoint who is going to be something. I just hope the best for everyone. And I see that in this movie, this cast alone, they killed it. That's why everybody should get their tickets to see
right.
what it's about.
So in the city, I'm a big fan of R&B, jazz, blues.
Yes, me too.
I have a church background, grew up in the church, but I like hip hop, but I like country hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I like hip hop that has an essence, that has a meaning. I'm a big Common fan. And so, I might have that rotation where you have Common, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, you got J. Cole, Kendrick, Wale, so I like that really conscious, that mind blowing Nas, AZ, you know what I mean? Cormega Nature, so with that being said, in the city of Chicago, when it comes to R&B, who is that hot person that you haven't had a chance to work with yet, but you know you can make it happen in the future? Now, it's a cat out there. I can't think of his last name, but his name is Justin. But he pretty hot, man. I can't think of this cat last name, but he pretty dope. So you know what I
In
mean?
Chicago,
Yeah.
I don't know R&B was. Um, I just know it's an artist. I know he's not from Chicago, but he go by Jay Howe. It was obsessed with his music. I would love to work with him, but other than that, like R&B, like I've dealt with hip hop so much. Like even Sandy Red, one of my clients, um, she's more rock soul. You know what I'm saying? I would love for her to sing R&B, but she's more rock soul. But really, like I'm so much. I've only managed hip hop artists outside of Sandy, who's rock soul. I've always managed hip hop artists. So, but right now,
So let me ask you a question. Why is that? Is that what appeals to you, or you just never went in that sector of R&B or jazz or blues or pop or like cause okay before you give me your answer, you know you told me your background, so it seems like you're well rounded and you're diverse. So with that being said, you have all these genres of music. And so why haven't you stepped aside that sector? Because it would be a different sector for you,
I'm
but
not saying I have it. I tour with country artists. I just did
uh-huh.
John Legend's tour. I'm doing Willow Smith on Sunday. Like I work with all different type of brand of artists. You know what I'm saying? Genres of artists. But I mainly gravitated towards hip hop because of my Diamond Dolls. My models were
Okay.
hip hop models. You know what I'm saying? They were artists.
Uh,
They promoted hip hop artists. So I've always was around hip hop artists. So I end up managing hip hop artists because it was great cross promotion with my models.
okay. All right. I can understand that. But you know, this what I will say about the music business. Um Hip hop, yeah, it's a lot of money in hip hop. But for me having you know, some business associates that's into the promotions of country music, the promotions of pop, the promotions of jazz, blues, southern soul. This is what I would say about country and pop. Country and pop, to me, they set it up and they design it so their artists can't fail.
I can kind of
Like what you say?
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like so how hip hop took the artist development out of everything and started giving artists 360 deals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was talking to one of my homeboys a couple of weeks ago. He said, "Bro, I've been with an independent country label for about 5 years, Jay." And he said that 360 deal that I be hearing about the hip hop artists go through. He was like, "Man, that's grade A bullshit
Mm-hmm.
for real, for real."
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's a ripoff." So you know,
Tried to do my daughter with that when we was trying to do a contract, and I'm like, you're not finna 360 my daughter. Like I know the industry, I know the business, and no, you know what I'm saying. She's a hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying. She's very talented, and I'm like, you're not finna do that. And I'm like, that's why I hate the fact. Like I told my daughter, like you understand the whole artist development type stuff, how things were back in the day. She'll be 22 next month. You know what I'm saying. I'm like. Now they just giving 360 deals. They doing this. They effing people over. Sometimes you don't even need a deal. You can just stay independent, do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I told her don't rush to get a contract because things are bogus nowadays.
right. So I just tell artists, man, study pop, study country, study jazz, study blues, and study the management and the labels of those type of sectors, and you'll really see how the artists move and stuff like that, man. So, but you know that's what it is. So, Miss Breezy, we are about out of time. So I do want to thank you for coming on,
Thank you
and
very
I do want to thank you for dropping some jewels, and it's really appreciated. So, you know, hopefully we can bring you back soon, and we can chop it up about how your progression has been for you know maybe 6 months from now. We can chop it up and see how your progression has been, and you can drop some more jewels. And it's just been a wonderful evening, and we had a little a couple technical difficulties at first, but we got through it. So
Yeah.
it's been a great interview. So
Thank
go
you.
ahead and give me
Thank
go,
you so much for having me. And
okay.
please, everyone, go buy your ticket for Ignite Your Love. Comes out on Sweetest Day if you're looking for something to do with your special someone. Saturday, October 16th, we have 2 shows, 2 to 5 and 6 to 9. Red Carpet, AMC Theaters in Crestwood. You can go to Eventbrite and search Ignite Your Love, or either go on my page and it'll be all on my page.
You heard what she said, AMC Theater. So that means that's some big boy shit. So holler at your girl, man. She out there, and and she always ready to work. So just holler, Miss Breezy. Peace, blessings. We thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.